Vast, a space habitation company, is dedicated to the expansion of human presence throughout the solar system. Founded in 2021 by Jed McCaleb, Vast is at the forefront of developing the next generation of space stations. The company aims to launch its first space station module as early as 2025, with plans to add more modules to expand this initial station in the following years. Vast's mission includes advancing commercial crewed research, development, and manufacturing in space. Looking further ahead, their roadmap includes the creation of an artificial gravity station by the 2030s. Currently, Vast is solely financed by its founder, Jed McCaleb. This financial backing is enough to support the company through the launch of its first module and the inaugural crew visit. Post this phase, Vast will vie for the second round of NASA Commercial LEO Destinations Award funding, which is anticipated to be announced in 2026. Vast's mission is to enable a future where millions of people are living across the solar system. The solar system has an incredible amount of resources. If we had access to those resources, our civilization would grow and thrive while preserving our planet. Once large populations of people can live in space, we can create the industry and infrastructure needed to access these resources at scale. According to McCaleb, the next step for innovation is habitation. We are developing low-cost stations and artificial gravity so that people can live in space for long periods of time without the permanent side effects of zero gravity. Okay, let's look at their space station plans and their roadmap for the future. Vast is committed to a vision where billions can live and flourish in space, expanding human presence and resources beyond what we currently envision. Currently, astronauts must restrict their time in space to minimize health impacts. Vast plans to overcome this by constructing habitats with artificial gravity, which would make longer space stays healthier and more comfortable. Artificial gravity isn't just a concept from science fiction, it can be achieved by spinning a structure around a hub. This spin gravity simulates the gravity we experience on Earth, eliminating the damaging effects of weightlessness on the human body. One problem though is the spin needs to be slow enough not to cause motion sickness in humans. That requires a large structure, which is why Vast doesn't plan to rotate their structure until the 2030s. From the diagram, we can see their roadmap for building modules. There has been no recent mention of Haven Demo, and Haven 1 is launching in less than 12 months, so it seems likely they have decided to discontinue this tech demonstrator and go straight to the Haven 1 module. In 2028, they plan to launch a Starship-class module that has a 7-meter diameter. Starship has a 9-meter diameter for payloads, so this module can easily fit inside it. This Starship-class module will act as a central hub of a rotating space station. By adding smaller modules to the central hub, they can create a spinning stick station. The central hub can be used for docking of visiting craft, while the habitats will experience spin gravity in the rotating modules. The amount of gravity experienced will depend on the distance from the central hub. Let's look at the scale comparison diagram. In this graphic from Vast, we get an idea of the size of their artificial gravity station. The artificial gravity station will crew 8 people and take up 3,500 cubic meters of volume. The International Space Station below it is crewed by 7 people and has 1,005 cubic meters of volume, so the Vast station will have over 3 times the habitable volume of the ISS. The Haven 1 module to the right can crew 4 people and is just 80 cubic meters of volume. The Starship class module also crews 4 people and has 500 cubic meters of volume. Okay, now we have an understanding of their roadmap and ambitions. Let's turn to the Haven 1 module that should be launching soon. Haven 1 Vast First Space Station. Set for launch in August 2025 aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, Haven 1 marks Vast's entry into space habitation. Haven 1 will initially act as an independent crewed space station prior to being connected as a module to a larger, Vast space station currently in development. The mission will be quickly followed by Vast 1, the first human spaceflight mission to Haven 1 on a SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. The vehicle and its 4-person crew will dock with Haven 1 for up to 30 days while orbiting Earth. Vast also secured an option with SpaceX for an additional human spaceflight mission to Haven 1. Jed McCaleb, the CEO of Vast Space, said, Vast is thrilled to embark on this journey of launching the world's first commercial space station, Haven 1, and its first crew, Vast 1. We are grateful to SpaceX for this exciting partnership that represents the first steps in Vast's long-term vision of launching much larger artificial gravity space stations in Earth orbit and beyond. Vast is offering up to 4 seats for sale on its first mission. These seats are targeted at both domestic and international space agencies, as well as individuals interested in science and philanthropy. As of now, there has been no public disclosure regarding the crew selected for this mission. This milestone could mark Haven 1 as the first commercial space station in orbit, ahead of competitors like Axiom Space, whose first module is now expected in late 2026. The design of Haven 1 focuses on versatility, catering to various activities including scientific research, technology advancement, in-space manufacturing, and space tourism. A notable feature is the exterior's centralized window, offering astronauts a breathtaking panorama of Earth. Inside, Haven 1 features a real-time status display for monitoring the station's conditions, including temperature and lighting adjustments. The storage solutions are optimized with efficient cargo compartments, ensuring that supplies are both accessible and securely stowed. Additionally, the use of soft, padded materials throughout the interior adds an extra layer of safety for the crew and any visitors navigating the zero-gravity environment. Above and below the corridor, the station's 4 private crew quarters offer astronauts a space to rest and recharge. Slightly larger than the crew quarters aboard the ISS, these rooms are designed to allow for changing, entertainment, online communication with loved ones back on Earth, enabled by SpaceX Starlink connectivity, and, most importantly, a good night's rest. At the heart of Haven 1 lies the Common Area, a central multifunctional space where crew members can engage in scientific experiments or technology development, share meals, exercise, or simply unwind. This area, with an impressive 24 cubic meters of volume, sets a new standard for space station design, featuring a 1.1 meter domed window. The common area includes the deployable table, covering 0.9 square meters, which serves for dining and collaboration and can be neatly stowed away into the floor when not required. The highlight, however, is a large observation window, offering a spectacular and continuous view of Earth, enhancing the sense of connection to home for those aboard. The Haven 1 lab is in the common area, marking the world's first microgravity research on a commercial platform. This lab features 10 mid-deck locker payload slots behind its forward wall. Operations within the lab can be remotely controlled and observed through SpaceX's Starlink, offering an enhanced scientific capacity for private astronauts during their stay. Haven 2, the future of space habitation. Vast has recently introduced Haven 2, marking their ambitious step forward as proposed successor to the International Space Station. This project underscores Vast's commitment to enabling long-term human life and work in space. With NASA's plan to decommission the ISS by 2030, there's a push towards commercial space stations. NASA has initiated a competition for these next-generation stations, with winners for Phase 2 expected to be announced in 2026. Vast is positioning Haven 2 to secure one of these coveted NASA contracts, aiming to lead in the new era of space habitation. Our focus this decade is to win the NASA commercial LEO destination contract and build the successor to the International Space Station, said Max Haut, Vast CEO. To achieve this, we will first demonstrate our capability by building and operating the world's first commercial space station, Haven 1, which is set to launch in 2025. If Vast secures a NASA contract in 2026, they aim to launch their first module of Haven 2 by 2028. This module, an advanced version of Haven 1, tailored to meet NASA's standards, benefits from the groundwork laid by Vast's private investment in Haven 1. The initial Haven 2 module will extend 5 meters beyond Haven 1, providing almost double the livable space while using the established systems from its predecessor. Scalable, cost-efficient expansion of Haven 2. Vast's Haven 2 space station project aims to succeed the ISS with a scalable and cost-effective expansion strategy. Following the launch of its first module in 2028, Vast plans to add 3 more modules within 2 years, each designed for efficient expansion and integration of advanced life support technologies. These modules will maintain a consistent design to ensure compatibility and cost efficiency while increasing the station's volume, facilities, and capacity for life support systems. The station features the Haven 2 lab, equipped to handle microgravity research and in-space manufacturing. It offers greater volume, power, and thermal control than Haven 1 and adheres to NASA standards for orbital research facilities. 2030 and beyond. From 2030 to 2032, Vast plans to significantly expand its space station capabilities by adding a central 7-meter diameter core module, along with 4 additional Haven 2 modules. This expansion will complete Vast's vision for state-of-the-art commercial space station, tailored to serve international partners, NASA, commercial entities in research and manufacturing, and private astronauts. The completed Haven 2 station will boast several advanced features. A large 3.8 meter diameter cupola window offering expansive views of Earth and space. Facilities for hosting external payloads. A robotic arm for various space operations. Berthing for visiting vehicles. An airlock for external payloads and another for extravehicular activities. Each new module will include 2 1.1 meter dome windows, the same as Haven 1, culminating in a total of 16 windows by 2032, enhancing the quality of life for inhabitants. Vast hopes that Haven 2 will become the leading platform for low Earth orbit activities, promoting a thriving LEO economy through international collaboration. Milestones. Okay, now we know about Vast modules and technologies. Let's go through some of the key milestones for the company so far. In June 2024, ESA, that is the European Space Agency, and Vast signed a Memorandum of Understanding for future Vast space stations. The collaboration will initially focus on exploring opportunities for access to space for Europe through the Vast space stations. These could include access to Vast space stations for ESA and its member states, for astronaut missions and research activities, as well as commercial business development. Supporting European industry to supply subsystems and equipment for future Vast space stations. Vast makes use of future qualified European LEO cargo and/or crew transportation services at market rates and commercially viable terms and conditions, also as a means for offsetting future ESA astronaut missions. Vast and ESA jointly supporting European industry in getting certified for docking to future Vast space stations. In June 2024, Vast signs with the Exploration Company for second Haven space station cargo services. In June 2024, Vast entered into an agreement with the Exploration Company for cargo services to its planned second Haven space station, scheduled for 2028. This collaboration marks the beginning of a partnership between Vast and European industry counterparts to promote the commercial use of low Earth orbit. The agreement involves the Exploration Company, known for its development and operation of the NIX, a modular and reusable space capsule. NIX is designed to transport over 4,000 kilos of cargo to Vast space station, with a capability to return up to 2,600 kilos of payload back to Earth. The Exploration Company is a frontrunner in European cargo logistics to and from low Earth orbit. Upcoming events. Let's examine the upcoming events for Vast Space over the next few years. First off is the launch of the Haven 1 space station on Falcon 9 rocket. This launch is currently set for not earlier than August 2025. This is a key moment for Vast, and a successful launch and operation of the space station could significantly impact Vast's prospects in NASA's forthcoming selections for commercial space station partnerships. And the other upcoming event is the NASA Commercial Space Station Award. This key upcoming event for Vast Space, and for all other US-based commercial space stations, is the NASA Award for Commercial LEO Destinations Program. NASA plans to certify commercial space stations for use by NASA astronauts in a second phase of the program, expected sometime in 2026, where further contracts will be issued to certify these stations and purchase services. This is a key event that will likely be make or break for all the contenders. The investment community seems to be skeptical of the viability of commercial space stations, so funding from NASA will be crucial. In closing, While there is a great deal of skepticism about the viability of commercial space stations, it's worth noting we have already had a number of commercial missions, including both free-flying missions to Crew Dragon and missions to the ISS by Axiom Space. Examples are Axiom 1 and Axiom 2 to the ISS, and Inspiration 4 and Polaris Dawn, with a Fram-2 mission orbiting both the North and South Poles due to launch in late 2024. In addition, once Starship is operational, entire space stations fully outfitted could be launched in a single launch, and possibly for far less than a single launch of Falcon 9. Let's hope Vast Space, alongside other commercial space station companies, will find business models or wealthy investors that keep them profitable in the near term while they build their orbiting space stations. We will continue to provide updates on Vast Space developments with Haven 1 and Haven 2, as well as tracking advancements from Axiom Space, Starlab, Orbital Reef, Gravitics, and other players in the exciting field. Okay, that's it for today. Be sure to subscribe to get the latest news on commercial space startups around the globe. From rocket launchers to space stations, orbital tugs, lunar landers and more, if it's a commercial space startup, we cover it. See you soon.